Whew, holy crap, what a day. Let me go ahead and get everything back to what I believe is live. I apologize to everybody for the delay, but welcome to the Troy's Auto Detailing Season 4 of the 360 Sprints. This is going to be Week 1 held at Eldora. All our season starts are typically at Eldora, and we're not going to change anything for this season. I'm going to go ahead and get everything posted right now for everybody to see in Discord. Alrighty, there we go. I apologize about how long that took. I don't think you guys understand how long that took to get all the overlays up, getting getting off work late. It was just a whole entire ordeal, so I apologize. I'm actually just now getting it to the stream specifically right now, so as always with the way it looks like with sim racing apps for us, it doesn't register the first place car until we go ahead and actually get him onto the screen for completing a first lap. So looks like the pace car's coming in now. They're going to go ahead and come on around, and let's see him coming around for green flag racing. Looks like that's going to be Dylan Patterson of the 97 car rounding out the rear. Looks like Steven Fernberg is going to be our leader. Let's go ahead and get switched over to him right now in the 029 car. As you can see from that right front suspension, he's really, got a smooth car, not really working the wheel too much. Very consistent race car as he's going to hold in that first place spot. Charles New to third. It looks like he's being scored as second, but I see Matt Grimm in that black and green machine rounding out the second place spot as it comes around him in lap 3. Charles New to third, and my favorite beer, Busch Light. Lord knows I probably need about 4 or 5 of those after tonight, rounding out your top 3. Tyler Johnson's going to be that fourth place car with Dylan Patterson rounding out the top 5. We are going to do 8 laps of heat races. It should be either 2, 3, or 4 heat race sessions, depending how many racers specifically join us. We got some 3-wide racing going on right behind them. Matt Grimm on that top side with Charles New in the middle, and it looks like Tyler Johnson's trying to see what he can do to make a fight go on, try to see if he can go from 4th to 2nd. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Tyler Johnson's specifically seeing from inside of his car right now. He may be in 4th place, but I tell you what, all these cars are stacked up. There's only about a second gap, it looks like, between 4th and the leader. So, he is right there. Dylan Patterson looks like he's a couple seconds behind. He was a very consistent car last season as well. Was able to make some headway through the playoffs just off consistency. So, he may be trying to stay off that same game plan there. Steven Fernberg is going to take your group of cars around this time by for the white flag. He's got a very consistent lead over Matt Grimm in that second place car. He's going to try to make an outside or inside move, see if he can make something work, but it's going to be Steven Fernberg coming around. Heat race 1 is your winner. Matt Grimm is second, Charles New third and third. We'll go ahead and give them time to pace, get off the track, and we'll get ready for our next set of heats. Alright, sorry that took so long. I was getting a couple settings specifically worked out myself. It looks like, unfortunately, if anybody's wondering why there's so many iRacing paints on right now, we were in a rush to get everything set up on my end. I don't think trading paints was up or completely loaded up correctly, so I'm going to go ahead and refresh a couple times, give everybody a chance to see their cars. But that would be why we have the iRacing graphics, it looks like, going on. As you can see, Stephen Perkins, I was able to get him reset in the 11 car. But we're going to go ahead and get ready to go racing this time by. Or next time by, actually.
That's what a few people's told us, Mr. Stenzel.
I forgot it was open, so I had no idea how to build a fucking sprint car.
Yeah, we opened everything.
Sorry guys, I didn't mean to have the chat up for everybody. Well, it looks like we're getting ready to go 1 to green this time, or they're 1 to green currently right now. Pace car's coming off the track. We are getting ready to come around as we are going green this time by. Looks like the 12 was trying to make a nice jump as he could on the outside line, but we're going to take it. That's a clean start as we're going into turn 1. The 01 of Ty Williams is going to cut off the 12 on that outside line. He's going to hold the outside. Looks like Stephen Perkins is trying to see if he can make that inside line work, and Ty Williams is going to lead him into lap 1. Pretty much the same as last race. Everybody's very fast, very consistent. First through fifth is staying pretty much about a second to a second and a half difference between all racers. Stephen Perkins going to throw the slider on the inside to see if he can get around Drew Junkman. Drew Junkman actually is coming right back. It looks like he gets a right rear into the sprint car that was outside of him as he takes that second spot as he's coming around. Looks like the 09 car, Bo Stenzel's trying to see what he can do. He is last season's sprint car champion. He actually won more races in pro late models than anything else, but consistency is key, and he was able to get it done in the sprint cars last year. As you can see, Ty Williams still holding a commanding lead up front as you're watching Bo Stenzel, Drew Junkman, and Stephen Perkins in a three-way fight for second right now. And don't get much better than this. We're going 3 wide. It looks like the 09, that's going to be Bo Stenzel, is going to send it inside with the cars outside of him. Stephen Perkins, Drew Junkman is going to take that inside line in that red Rusty's Lightning McQueen looking sprint car as he holds the outside line now. Bo Stenzel takes the far inside. Stephen Perkins is held up in the middle. Let's see how they line up with 2 laps to go. Same formation. Drew on the outside, Stephen in the middle, Bo on the inside. Bo tries to take that third place spot from Stephen. Drew Junkman's holding second place where white flag gets time by. Does he have anything left in the tank? And that big old Eldora stickered machine, Bo Stenzel with the slider, crossover by Stephen, who got it? Looks like it's going to be Stephen Perkins that ended up getting third. Bo Stenzel, it looks like he has scored his fourth. I mean, that racing doesn't get much better than that, especially if everything can stay consistent. As always with our formats, 24 make the feature. So if you are not part of that top 24, you are done. Luckily, it looks like we only had 12 come out for week 1. So everybody will be making the feature. It should make it for a relatively easy, quick race. Now I'm going to knock on wood because I probably just jinxed us, and here comes 15 cautions. But I'm just as excited as everybody else for it. Let's go ahead and check out a couple of these cars getting their warm-ups in right now. We'll go ahead with the Tyler Radenbaugh machine. Tyler was another playoff driver for us last season. He ended up finishing 4th in sprint cars and pro late models, so very consistent, very good run. He's looking to see if he can improve upon 2 very good seasons last year and see if he can really make something happen this year. Another car we'll take a look at real quick is Matt Grimm. He is a newcomer as of this season. I know he has been running around some of the 3PG events for a while, but he's never ran in one of our leagues consistently, so we're very happy to have him around. Very fast car, very clean driver. I was talking with him in DMs, and man, if he can just get a good clean week under his belt, I think he's going to be one of the fastest cars here. Another car looking like they're very fast as well is going to be that Tyler Johnson machine as we see him making some laps right now. Tyler Johnson's another new name I don't recognize necessarily. It doesn't look like he ran with us necessarily last season, but he's also very fast as well looking at these warm-up times. Another car is looking very fast, and we'll take a look at him real quick. It's going to be that Stephen Perkins machine. It doesn't look like he is on track right now, I don't think. It looks like he's got a very fast time in this warm-up. We'll go ahead and take a look at Steven Fernberg. He's off the track too. Is Charles new on the track? Let's take a look at Charles. Charles is on the track, so here's my favorite beer, the Busch Light car out here. making some laps. He's looking very good in his warm-up round as well, rounding up a top 6 time. Looks like his teammate Ty Williams ended up sneaking in and getting that top 5 time away from him. But as we get a cockpit view, these drivers do have their hands full. It looks like it's a very hot, very humid day at Eldora. Usually that's going to make for very ice, slick-like conditions. A lot more throttle control is going to be required. And you really got to watch how you use your tires. You don't want to just burn them all off immediately and you have nothing left in the last 5 laps. So really interesting to see what kind of strategies these drivers are going to take into the feature tonight. We are going to run 35 laps for the feature. And we're going to lock in our very first playoff driver tonight. We're going to see who ends up making it in with the format. And we'll see who is going to be chasing the other 9 playoff drivers based off points after this first win. And we'll go from there. Looks like the warm-up's going to end in about 8 seconds. So I'm going to take about a 35-40 second little intermission. I'll leave the stream up. And we will resume here shortly, everybody. Alright, I am back. We are ready. Sorry for that small intermission. Was just getting all the little stuff set up real quick. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid this time by. Looks like we're going to have Steven Fernberg in that 029 machine, followed by the 01 of Ty Williams. Third place will be the 91 of Matt Grimm, followed by second row outside of Drew Junkman. Rounding out the top 5 is going to be Charles New, the third, as well as Stephen Perkins, third row outside. 7th place is going to be Tyler Johnson in the number 5 machine, followed behind our defending season champion for the Troy's Auto Detailing 360 sprints, Bo Stenzel in that 09 machine. Dylan Patterson is sitting in 9th place in the 97 car with Tyler Radenball, another playoff driver, sitting behind him, rounding out the top 10. 11th through 14th is going to be Race Control, Race Control, Race Control, and myself at the very bottom, rocking the broadcast. Looks like we're going 1 to green this time by. Pace Truck is bringing him around as he's getting ready to go into the pits, and we'll get ready to go green flag racing. Here we go. Stephen Fernberg is going to lead your group of drivers into turn 1. Ty Williams is going to take that outside line, but I see dang near 4 wide racing. That's Matt Graham. That's Charles New III. A lot of different vehicles involved right there. As they race him around, we'll see who's going to lead him into turn 1. As you see Matt Graham, Charles New III in front of him going 3 wide with Drew Junkman involved in that red Rusty's car. We got a lot of racing all around. I can't even keep up with it all. Let's go back to our leader real quick, Stephen Fernberg. Looks like he's having a very consistent race. Ty Williams is right behind him, about a 10th of a second. He's on that inside line. He's got to be right with him according to the scorecard. Stephen Perkins and Charles New III and Drew Junkman are going to round out your top 5. They're all about a second behind these leaders. They're not off pace at all. They're right there. 6th place will be rounded out by Bo with Matt Grimm in 7th, and then it looks like pace starts to fall off with Tyler Johnson and Tyler Radenball. So we got our first yellow of the night. Looks like it's going to be the 91 car and the 09 of Bo Stenzel. Let's go ahead and rewind this a little bit and see if we can find out what happened. Ooh. And we'll do my slow-mo cam. As you can see, it looks like I think Bo ended up going outside, and when he went outside, it looks like he made some contact. Oop, sorry, we're going backward. Made some contact with that outside wall. When he did that, it slowed him. I don't know if that's a net code or what. It kind of looked like a net code, but their tires got connected. Unfortunately, that was just a really bad deal for ordeal for both drivers. It looked like it started when Bo hit the wall, and then from what I can see, I'll kind of play it back and we'll look real close. I think it's a net code personally, but we'll let race control make that call. We have a set rules and process for how we will evaluate net codes and other incidents of that sort, so we'll let race control make that call. As always, we are still doing our, I believe it's either 4 or 5 pace laps for every caution. Reason why is it gives everybody a chance, race control to make the call, pit drivers to make pit stops if needed. We do not count caution laps. There is one fast repair for all races. After that, you have to use whatever mechanic time you need to get the sprint car back onto the track. Reason we like to do this time is, let's say there are some cars or drivers that need to repair their cars, and they're playoff drivers, they need the points, they need the contention. It really makes a huge difference, and it starts getting real interesting when you got multiple drivers a couple laps down, and you got 2 cars that are 2 laps down fighting for 7th to get the final push for the playoffs. So I've seen some really goofy scenarios out of it. Ends up helping a lot of cars, as it looks like that 91 car is still in pit lane right now. While we're waiting real quick, we'll go ahead and give you guys an idea of what these drivers are racing for. The 360 Sprints payout this season is going to be $500 for the league champion, $350 for the runner-up this season. Third place will be getting $200, fourth place $100, and fifth place $50. This is all off a $5 entry fee for these guys. All payouts are guaranteed. Anybody that's ran with us before, I don't care if there's 2 drivers in the race or 200, I'm going to pay it. I have paid a big money race when only 2 drivers have showed up before. It was actually one of the better races we ever had, because it was very consistent, you know, head-on racing. But we got a lot of money up for grabs, a lot of really good drivers putting on a show for us as well. Looks like we're getting ready to go 1 to green this time by. Let's go ahead and take another look at our leaders. Looks like Ty Williams ended up getting scored at some point over Steven Fernberg when the caution came out, so he's going to be your inside pole. Steven Fernberg will be outside pole with Steven Perkins looking at third place inside second row. Charles New to third. Ty's teammate's going to be second row outside, and Drew Junkman's going to round out your top 5 as Ty Williams takes him to the green this time by. It looks like the leaders did, or the race control did not like that start. I think they are going to send that one back. Let's see if we can get a little bit better camera angle. This is a decent one. Let's see if we can take a look maybe why race control didn't like it. I might be able, I used to be able to get a blimp cam. Here we go. So if I'm going to guess, I don't think it's so much on the leaders. I think it's more on the back half of cars. You see that 4th row of cars, especially on that outside row. We got out of formation, and that's a big rule for us. We want to stay in formation. I'm going to guess that's why it was on that outside car. So let me go ahead and get caught back up with the leaders. It looks like they're waiting for the pace car to come around, and they'll go 1 to green this time by, as you can see by my track map. The track map at the top right is always live if you're curious where we are currently at on the race format while we're sitting here looking at replays like this. So to give you an idea, it is always live up here, and you see 1 to green up here. That means the drivers see 1 to green, so they're not going to go green flag racing yet. It looks like we're still going to have 1 more lap. Also, just a heads up for anybody that's new here, Third Party Gaming does broadcast every race we can for all of our leagues that we do run. Just a service we try to show to everybody, so if you can, like and subscribe. It is free. I don't want to ask anybody to pay any unneeded money. The economy is horrible. But any like or subscription with us, we greatly appreciate. It supports us directly. And anything we could do to just bolster engagement, bolster views, and put on a great product for you guys is ideally what we're trying to do in the long run. So if you can, like, comment, subscribe, text me in the chat right now. Let me know who you think's going to win, or let me know what you think we can improve here. And You know, we're taking all suggestions to the heart, so anything we can do to help out this community, we're going to do it for everybody. Looks like we were about 5 laps into this 35 lap feature. It's what I get for earlier making the comment that, just seems like we're going too good. It's going to be a consistent race. I guess I kind of put that one upon myself. So, as we wait for these guys to get going around again, let's take a look at next week's schedule, why don't we? Looks like week 2 for the 360 sprints, we are going to be going to I-55 Federated Raceway. Week 3 after that is going to be at the dirt track at Charlotte. Week 4 will be at Lanier. Week 5 is going to be held at Lernerville Speedway. Week 6 will be at Port Royal. Week 7 will be a track that I need to purchase. Oswego. I've heard so much about that racetrack. It'll be the first time it's been introduced into our league, as it's a new track that I race, and I'm excited to check that out. Lima Land, of course, in week 8, and we're going to start round 1 of the playoffs at Volusia for week 9. But enough about all that. We're going to stay for our blink cam as we watch Ty Williams taking around to go to green flag race, and this time by the pace truck is in. Ty's bringing him around, and he is off as we're going green flag race, and he got a heck of a start. And Steven's going on right behind him. I don't know if outside pole or sleeping or what was doing, but that whole entire inside line was able to make a lot happen right there. As Ty Williams is going to lead him around into turn 3, and he is going to be your leader as we come around the first lap after that caution. Lap 6 leader Ty Williams. Stephen Perkins, though, is fighting for him on that inside line right now. Again, I apologize that we have the iRacing viewed cars. I didn't have my trading panes up and running, so it's a little bit different calling them out. I'm used to them looking a little different as well. Stephen Perkins, though, is really making that run work on that inside line. He's really trying to see what he can do with that second place car. He's very fast, very consistent, just like he was in the recruitment races. I expect more of the same. We got some bumping going on in the back half of those cars back there. I believe that was Matt Grimm and Bo Stenzel again getting into each other. Let's take a look kind of what's going on in the back half of the racetrack. As we're on with Matt Grimm, Bo Stenzel, and just in front of him, Tyler Radenbaugh. As it looked like two very fast cars, two very competitive drivers really trying to see what they can do to make up some positions here. Drew Junkman's going to be rounding out that top 5. I see that beautiful Rusty's car as we're going yellow flag right now. Who is that? That is Mr. Fernberg. That is our second place car. Let's go ahead and see what happened here. That sprint car is destroyed. Whatever ended up happening to it. I'm getting it pulled back right now. Ooh, it looks like... So it looks like after that start, Steven Fernberg ended up getting shuffled into the back. Ended up getting into the back of Matt Grimm. I don't know if something broke on that second car he made contact with. I don't know if that was the 97, maybe, the 09. I don't know if he touched any of them, technically. I might not have went back far enough. Yeah, it looks like he touched the 09, Bo Stenzel, as well as Matt Grimm at some point. And I don't know if something broke. It almost looks like he just straight lined it into the wall. Usually in that instance, whether it be a steering wheel issue, tire on the car, you see that right front tire's wobbling real bad. I know it doesn't look like much, but when you're behind the car in iRacing, you can't steer it. There is no steering. You're kind of screwed. So let's go ahead and get completely caught back up. It looks like our leaders are going 1 to green, or getting ready to go 1 to green this time by. As we're caught up, we're in the cockpit view of Ty Williams right now, our leader, as we get ready to go 1 to green. Looks like it's still going to be Ty Williams on your inside pole. Stephen Perkins is going to be holding the outside pole. Charles New to third, so that Busch Light car sitting in third. Fourth place is going to be Tyler Johnson on second row outside. And fifth is still going to be the Rusty's car of Drew Junkman holding your top 5. So we're going green flag racing this time by. 3 wide racing in the back, possibly 4 wide if I can get a couple cars up there in that high middle line. Ty Williams is going to take him around the back stretch and possibly lead this turn, or lap 10, first lap after the caution. Stephen Perkins is going to be right behind them, about 0.2 of a second, with Charles New to third, still holding up third spot. Tyler Johnson's been really making some progress as he's holding up fourth. Looks like the 97 car got held back a little bit. I don't know if he got damaged, got involved in that caution. I see his wings gone, so let's take a look. What happened here? I think it happened. Oh, yep. So we'll go ahead and start to slow it down here, kind of see what happened. Looks like Dylan Patterson is taking that inside line. I don't know. He got into the inside wall. It looks like when he got into the inside wall, popped a wheelie, took it to the top of the track. You talk about a near miss from Steven Fernberg right there. Let's just go back and kind of take a look at that one. It don't get much closer than that. It does not get much closer than that. As you can see, kind of slow-mo, how close this was. I mean, we're talking 3 foot, 5 foot. I know we're talking virtually, but that's a heck of a save by Steven Fernberg. Hopefully Dylan Patterson's able to get that sprint car fixed up. As always, he does have a little bit of time in the pits, as we usually pace for 4 to 5 laps from every caution, and we'll get ready to be going green this time by. Like I said, I apologize. I jinxed it. I said we were having a beautiful show. Everything's looking great. We're going to have a good looking feature. I knocked on wood and everything, but it did not matter, unfortunately. We're still having the show we're having, but it wouldn't be 3PG if we didn't have good, hard, consistent racing. We wouldn't have it any other way. Fortunately, wrecks come, you know, we have the 2-strike rule for that limit, but that's what happens when you have a bunch of high-level racers all racing for the nice, you know, a nice real amount of money in a virtual setting. So, looks like we're still sitting in caution conditions. We will not be going 1 to green this time by. I believe it'll be probably next time by. Let's go ahead and take a look at our top 5 again. Looks like we're still going to be sitting with the 01 car of Ty Williams. Outside pole is going to be his teammate. I've been looking at that Busch Light car forever because Lord knows I got off work late. I went straight to the stream and man, that case of Busch Light's been talking to me. I can't wait to crack it open as soon as this is over. I kind of pulling for his car. I hope he's able to get it done because I'd love to crack open a broadcast and get a sponsorship by Busch. Third place is going to be Stephen Perkins. With second row outside is going to be held by Tyler Johnson. Rounding out our top 5 is going to be that 91 sprint car of Matt Grimm. And Tyler Radenbaugh is going to be in our top 6 as Ty Williams brings him around. We're going green flag racing this time by. Ty Williams with another strong start. Charles wasn't taking a nap though. He's right on his bumper. He's trying to see and do what he can. Take it from somebody who used to race with these drivers a lot. These two, they may be teammates, but you would never know it running. But Matt Grimm, he goes around sideways. It looks like 2 cars end up going around on the front stretch. It's been tough to get some green flag racing, but let's take a look and see what happened. So it looks like from what I can see, I don't know if Bo Stenzel had anything to do with that. It looks like Matt Grimm, and I believe that is... Who is that car? I mean, they're complete. I believe that is Tyler Radenbaugh in the 51 that ended up getting into him. I think Radenbaugh came down from what I can see, but I don't have a true view. Let me go to a far chase real quick. See if this gives me a better view. Or no, that's the 5 car in front. That's Tyler Johnson. I apologize. I deeply apologize. I called that wrong. So yeah, it almost looks like he is coming down. I don't know if he is anticipate coming down to go inside of Stephen Perkins. I don't know if that's the time frame. I'll kind of watch it from the whole corner so we can really see it in real-time view, real-time speed. He does have a minor bit of a run on Steven in front of him. My guess is Tyler Johnson assumed that since he was coming a little quicker, he's going to be able to go inside the crossover, but did not anticipate Matt Grimm being right there. Pretty much tire to tire with him on his inside. We'll see how race control scores that specific incident. I'm going to get caught back up to our leaders, and we'll go ahead and take a look again at our top 5. Ty Williams is still going to be holding that first place car. He's still going to be holding inside pole. Charles New the third, and that Busch Light car is going to be holding second place, first row outside. Stephen Perkins is still sitting in that third place. Looks like Tyler Johnson is scored in 5th, but I believe that is going to be held. It looks like the Rusty's car of Drew Junkman was the one that was being scored in 4th place. From what I can see right here, it's what it looks like. I don't know if it's going to give it to him or Bo Stenzel. So I'm going to wait till it goes 1 to green or wait till the drivers come around and take the scoring. Unfortunately, with sim racing apps, I don't have the what's the word I'm looking for? Perfect overlays to where everything is scored perfectly. Chase, as far as asking if you missed the race, the feature has started already, yes. All 360 sprint races will go up at some point between 9 and 9:05. I believe this one went up a little later at 9:05. They had the username and passwords posted in Discord for everybody. But unfortunately, it looks like this one went about 5 minutes later, so it almost worked out for you. If you're running late, it almost kind of worked out, but just a heads up, all the sprints, just like the recruitment races, are running at 9 p.m. As Ty Williams is taking our lead cars around, but is that Charles? No, that is Ty Williams still. Charles New III is coming around on that inside row. He's going to see if he can make a challenge for Ty Williams. Ty Williams is going to lead this first lap under caution again. Charles New III in second, Stephen Perkins in third, Bo Stenzel making a comeback in fourth, and Drew Junkman, that Rusty's car, is sitting in fifth place. I think that Drew Junkman car just ended up making a run for fourth. Let's take a look at him. It looks like he's trying to make it happen on that inside or outside row. He's got Bo Stenzel under him, and even though Bo does not run sprint cars maybe as much as we see him in late models, he is very, very fast. There was a reason he was able to win real quick, make our playoffs, and able to make something happen. As always with our playoff format, if you win, you are in. It is just like the NASCAR chase. There is a points minimum, but if you run like 3 or 4 races with us, that is very, very easily met with a couple good finishes. So as always, win and you are in, and that is what Ty Williams here is looking to do immediately. He's looking to start it off strong. He's looking to come in week 1, already have a spot ready to go for the playoffs. He's been talking about it all season. He's really ready to make something happen. He was able last season, I believe he won 3 or 4 races specifically, made it to the second round of the playoffs, and unfortunately just some hard racing between him and another driver ended up knocking him out of it. But he's hoping to really make a redemption run this season. Charles New III cuts into the inside. It looks like he almost gets into Stephen Perkins on that outside, trying to make something happen for second. But the longer and longer and longer these two cars are fighting for second place, Ty Williams is getting further and further away. As you can kind of see that gap widening out, we're getting a view of Charles New III and Stephen Perkins, that battle for second. It's pretty much been slider and crossover on entry and exit of every lap for the past 2 laps, and I don't expect it to change. Stephen Perkins is going to throw that slider. Charles New is going to come around. Is he going to cross over? No, he's not. He's staying on that outside line. He's going to let Stephen get the position as he's going to build momentum and try the same move again here in about a lap or 2. 14 laps to go this time by. Ty Williams is still holding a 1-car lead. You see the pack behind him. Stephen Perkins and Charles New, if we stay green, I think they're going to be the only 2 that can make a run for it. Bo Stenzel is fast, but I think he's starting to kind of fall in lines to kind of fall off a little bit from the speed he might have had before. In-car view of Charles New III right now holding that 3rd place spot. He's starting to fall off a little bit as well. Looks like about a 2.5 seconds from the pack. Looks like he's starting to fall behind Steven, but let's take a look at this Steven car here. He is running down Ty. 12 laps to go. And this is the race we are wanting to see right here. These 2 have gone at it. I believe the last recruitment race they went at it. There was another race they were involved in, I believe at Knoxville. These 2 were going at it, and these 2 are just like magnets, you know. They attract, they find each other, and I think they're going to find each other here in the last 10 laps. Ty Williams got his foot on the pedal, trying to do what he can to get away with them. Charles New III back there, we saw him doing 3 wide racing. Let's take a look at this. Charles New III on the outside, Bo Stenzel in the middle with Tyler Johnson holding that inside line. Tyler Johnson's going to go around both of them and take that 3rd place spot. Charles New says, no, you're not. I'm not going to give it up that easy as I'm coming down the crossover inside line with the slider to take 3rd right back. Looks like Tyler's going to cross over. He's going to lead that lap. 8 laps to go this time by. Bo Stenzel's watching all this fighting happen, and he's saying, do it for 2 more laps. Give me a chance to come back up there. I know he would love to take home a top 5 or even a top 3 tonight. Let's go ahead and take another look back at our leaders as we got a yellow. Yellow flag is out, and that is interesting. I'm not exactly sure what brought the yellow out. I'm still fully trying to find that. I apologize. I think it's going to be on, sorry it took so long. I think it was on Drew Junkman from what I can see. It looks like Drew Junkman ended up getting that outside wall, did a wall ride kind of like Doc Hudson from Cars, let the cars get around him on the outside and pulled it to the inside the best he could to get away from everybody. I imagine he really just didn't have the ability to turn in the turn 1 without that caution being thrown. People running the low side, you're running the risk So he's trying to get that car to pit lane. Looks like that's the reason caution's going to go out this time by. Let me go ahead and get caught back up to our leaders here. As always, for the new viewers we have in here, welcome everybody. This is the Troy's Auto Detailing 360 Sprints, week 1 of our 4th season for these sprint cars. Week 1 here at Eldora. You see Ty Williams here holding the lead with 7 to go. Steven Fernberg started with that lead, ended up getting caught up in an unfortunate caution after a real bad start. He fell off to the back. Ty Williams took advantage. He's been sitting in that first place spot, but Steven Perkins has been reeling him in ever so slowly. I was watching it, I believe it was 14 to go, and we got down to 7. We were watching him gain about a tenth to a tenth and a half every single lap. Tyler Johnson, Charles New to 3rd, and Bo Stenzel are going to round out your top 5. At one point, we were just watching them go 3 wide into turn 1 and then settle it out with crossovers into turn 3 and 4 again and repeat the same thing. I hope we get a lot of consistent racing like we have with that. It does look like there are a couple cars inside pit road taking advantage of that pit time still. It does look like that is going to be the 001 machine of or no, that is actually one of our race control. Everybody is out on the track. We're going 1 to green this time by. With under 10 to go, it does look like we are going to go single file. With under 10 to go and multiple cautions, we have always ran single file. It's been much easier to do it this way. It's been much easier to get consistent finishes. But is it going to make it easier for Ty? Or are we going to give Steven that inside line? Are we going to give him that chance? Because that's been Ty's advantage. He's been getting great starts and leaving that outside behind. But he ain't leaving Steven behind this time. We're going green flag racing. Ty Williams is going to lead him into turn 1. Steven Perkins is going to take that outside line with Tyler Johnson right behind him. Bo Stenzel is going to round out your 4th place line on the inside. And Matt Grimm is already back to your top 5. Ty Williams is going to lead him around that first lap as we got 5 laps to go. Steven Perkins 0.2 of a second behind him with Tyler Johnson on his bumper. Looks like a 1-lane racetrack at the moment. We were seeing 3 different lines be used, and we're going to see that inside line get used right now. Steven Perkins is going to try to make something happen. Ty Williams is still going to lead him around with 4 to go. Tyler Johnson. I was just sitting here talking about Steven Perkins, that he's going to be the one to make it happen to Ty, but Tyler Johnson is there. He is on his tire. He is on his left rear, ready to make a move. I don't know when he's going to do it. He's trying to take that outside line, but Ty's got that speed on the outside. I don't know if it's going to be enough to hold him off as they take it into turn 3 and 4. He's going to take the slider, but Ty's going to take the crossover. He's getting that outside dirt. He's into the wall. I don't know if he's gone. 2 laps to go. I think he ended up, unfortunately, getting the bad end of that contact. I was looking at it on my track map. I never saw the car come back, get going. Let's go ahead and take a look at that replay real quick. So we'll get a slow-mo view. It looks like here's where Tyler Johnson threw that slider. As soon as he got in that loose dirt, it sent him to that wall. He did what he could. There was just not much he could do to save that. He really tried to make it happen from what I can see, but just the amount of oversteering going back and forth caused the contact with the inside wall. Really good effort as a whole. I don't know what car that was here. I think that's Charles New the 3rd. I'm just missing this car. I mean, that could have ruined his race in whole. We've had multiple incidents, it seems like, today where 3 feet is about all it takes to just, make or break your night. So congrats on him for making it through that accident. Hopefully, Tyler Johnson is able to get his car repaired. Unfortunately, when you do tow, it kind of takes up most of our allotted time we have for pit repairs. It gives you something. We're not just trying to say, you're screwed, but unfortunately, we can't wait for every single car to tow. So I think he is going to be at the mercy of either bringing this car out with a lot of damage still from the tow time, or he'll be stuck in the pits, one of the two. We'll go ahead and take a look at our leaders again. The Ty Williams machine. Been very strong start to finish. Again, I know I don't have trading paints on. I rushed home as fast as I could tonight. By the way, hooligans, I know it's you, Dylan. You were looking very good, very consistent for the first part of the race. It's like I called out when it happened. I just think with how far the track's starting to go a little bit, how hot it is, and just everybody's running as hard as they can. It's like when Tyler, he was trying to make a good slider, miscalculated a little, got into the wall. There's just not much you can do. It looks like we were going 1 to green this time, but oh, we weren't updated. I am a piece of crap race control admin. I apologize. But I heard green flag racing. Ty Williams is going to take him around the backstretch right now. Stephen Perkins is going to be right behind him in second place with Matt Grimm coming around to the inside. Matt Grimm's going to throw a slider right now, 2 to go. It looks like we're going 1 to green this time, white flag this time by. Ty Williams is still going to hold this lead. Matt Grimm is coming around in second place. Matt Grimm came out of nowhere. I don't know where this car came from. Is he going to make something happen? Ty Williams has went low for the first time all race, knowing damn well there's a right rear or a door or something coming. It ain't going to matter. Ty Williams is going to win your very first race of third-party gaming season 4 of iRacing. Ty Williams is your winner of the Troy's Auto Detailing 360 Sprints. Second place is going to be held by Matt Grimm. Third place is going to be held by Stephen Perkins. You're going to get a chance to hear from all 3 of these drivers specifically as well. We'll go ahead and get an interview specifically for the top 3. But it looks like Ty Williams right here is going to be the car that got it done tonight. Again, like I said, Matt Grimm is going to round out your second place spot. And Stephen Perkins, he's not on the track at the moment, but he ended up rounding out your top 3. Charles Newt, the third, is going to be your 4th place finisher, with Bo Stenzel rounding out your top 5. 6th place is going to be held by Tyler Radenbaugh, with 7th place being finished by Drew Junkman in that Rusty's Lightning McQueen machine. Steven Fernberg, your pole sitter for this race, is going to fall back to 8th. Dylan Patterson, unfortunately, he had a little bit of issues getting into that inside wall. He's going to be your 9th place finisher. And Tyler Johnson is going to round out your top 10, and that is going to be the start of this year's Season 4 for the Troy's Auto Detailing 360 Sprints. Give me about 60 to 120 seconds real quick. I'm going to take a minor break, get everybody in Discord, and we'll go ahead and get interviews for everybody real quick. But congratulations, everybody.
Good win, Ty.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, we are back. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, you just saw the conclusion of the Troy's Auto Detailing 360 Sprints Week 1 here at Eldora. What I have here is our top 3 finishers, Ty Williams, Matt Grimm, and Stephen Perkins. And I'm going to start off with Stephen here, our 3rd place finisher. So, Stephen, first off, congratulations. Obviously a great start to the season. I mean, definitely where you want to be, top 3. I know ideally you really wanted to see what you could do to get a win, to lock yourself into the playoffs. But how you feeling after tonight?
I feel pretty good. I'm not big on making my own sets, so I kind of just use a baseline and then just kind of throw stuff at it and hope it works. So, I mean, the top 3, I can't really argue with that. I hate that I gave second up right there at the end, but hey, it was a great race, all race.
I'll tell you what, I don't know if any setup builders are sitting here looking at this stream, hanging out in the Discord, but it sounds like Stephen Perkins is making his own setups and could probably use one of your guys' help. If you need a good driver to get first, it sounds like that's all you're missing is a setup, because you got the talent, that's for sure. If you're driving a baseline, you're in top 3. You're doing damn good. You got any sponsors you want to thank?
I mean, I pretty much do this by myself. It's just something I do for fun. I don't really have any sponsors, so I guess Me.
Fair enough. I want to see you in that Talladega Nights, the Jaguar Tiger car, whatever it is. I want that paint scheme on your sprint car next week since it's just you.
All right. All right. I'll make that happen.
All jokes aside, hit up Bender. He could probably do that for you if you want it. But either way, congratulations. Hell of a run on a third place finish. Hit me up after this on Discord. I'll take care of getting your purse paid out.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And that is your third place finisher, everybody, Steven Perkins. Next up is going to be Matt Grimm. Matt, I feel like we've sat here in DMs probably 5 different times, like, man, if you can get a good run, I know you're going to win this, or I know you're going to be in the front. It finally happened, even though you still were involved in a couple wrecks. I don't know where you came from in the last 5 laps, but you had a hell of a run. What kind of speed did you happen there? Did you save, or did you just get right position, right time? Kind of walk us through that.
No, there was no saving because every time I'd get up, I didn't want to stay back there any longer than I needed to. So I would get up front and pretty much get taken out. So just
Yeah,
kind of one of those things. Yeah, it's
I
kind
felt
of how.
horrible for you. I know the first one, you and Bo had some contact because I sat here and looked at it on the broadcast, and I felt horrible as I looked at it. It looked like a real bad net code, and I was like, it couldn't have happened to a better dude. I was like, I feel like Matt Grimm gets net coded every race we run. But I'm so
Yeah,
happy to finally see you get a top 2 finish. And I mean, to be honest with you, I was calling it out. I thought Steven was going to be the one to make a run at Ty, but I tell you what, if there was 2 more laps, I'm not sure how it would have finished up. That was a heck of a race. You got any sponsors you want to thank?
yeah. Thanks everybody at Horizon Sim Sports, 1-8 Designs, Metcalf Cinematography, M9 Racing Performance. I guess even though I built this setup because I didn't have an M9 set to run, so I just kind of ran something that I built like a month or so ago, and
Yeah, you're in the
it
same boat as
didn't do
Steven.
too bad.
I'm about to
Yeah,
say,
and I'm sponsored by a setup shop.
if
So
anybody, any setup shops need some drivers or, current setup shops, maybe need to start building some setups, you got 2 damn good drivers between Matt Grimm here and Steven Perkins that, little bit of tweaking here and there, that could have been the difference in a tenth or two, you know what I mean? Still, hell of a run though. Congratulations.
yeah, thank you, and congrats to Ty. Good job to Steven, man. Glad I got around him.
And that is going to be Matt Grimm, our second place finisher. And now we're going to round it up. What everybody here has been waiting for, Ty Williams. I feel like I've said this probably 3 or 4 times before, being I think you were a 3 or 4 time winner last season. I know this is a familiar feeling for you, Ty, but how's it feel to at least know you're locked in for the playoffs?
Oh, it feels good. That's definitely for sure. And last year, about this time at Eldora, I was leading it and ran into some bad luck and was like Matt, getting bounced around. Feels good to actually get her done for once.
Yeah, it was. I could probably agree with you on that. I'm sure me and you could probably joke around, and I bet you have half, if maybe even less, incidents this year than you had last season at this first race. And it wasn't no bad driving or anything by you. It's just how hectic it got. Everything straightened out toward the end. Do you got any sponsors or anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank everyone back at Slider Dice Sim Sports, Dalton Bragg, Corey Bragg, Charles New, all them guys. We worked really hard. I'm glad they helped put in the work with me and get these things dialed in for the season. It was nice seeing Charles run right there behind me for a minute and almost come up on the podium with me, but big
Oh,
shout out to the whole team. Ran
you
Knoxville Nationals last night against the pros, finished ninth. We're having a real good season this year in sprint cars.
Yeah, you guys are looking real good, and you know how much I love Busch Lights, so you best believe I was sitting here pulling for him on the stream. I wish he could have did a little better, but I was pulling for the Busch Light car because I wanted to crack one open, sitting here interviewing him, as he got
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
it is what it is. There's always next week. Either way, congratulations, hell of a run. We'll go ahead and get everything closed up, and we'll go ahead and talk about next week for everybody left in the broadcast. Congratulations, everybody. All right, everybody, that's pretty much going to wrap up tonight's program. Just wanted to get everybody bounced out of Discord real quick. Go over top 5 again. Ty Williams is going to be our winner, and he is going to be locked into the playoffs with that win. For anybody wondering, we are still running everything chase style when it comes to the format for the playoffs. Matt Graham is going to be your second place finisher. Stephen Perkins is going to round out your podium finishers. Charles New III, the guy I wanted to hit the podium so bad so I could open a bush light, is going to be sitting here in 4th, and Bo Stenzel is going to round out your top 5. Next week, we are going to be at I-55 Federated Raceway with our Troy's Auto Detailing 360 sprints. Probably the same exact format there. Should be either 30 or 35 laps. We'll get that posted for everybody. But coming up specifically tomorrow, we have the Bender Designs UMP Modifieds. They're going to be starting their season here at week 1 at Eldora here as well. It's going to be a very similar format. Let me get it pulled up right here for everybody. Instead of, where'd it go? Instead of 35 laps for the feature, it is going to be 40 laps. So there'll be 5 more laps for the feature, something to keep in mind. With the UMP Modifieds, this is our inaugural race for this series. It has been a very good race, and we have ran 4 recruitment races up to this point to completely pull the field from nothing to what it is today. I expect some of the best racing we've seen in a long time to happen tomorrow. It's going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Should be no delays on the broadcast getting up. Session and everything will be posted in Discord and all our social medias. I can't